Hey everybody, it's Jeremy. Welcome back to Lucid's Tournament Game 7, where we are playing Helheim. This is turn 60. It has begun. Or has it? So, okay. There was some miscommunication, and Tirnanog did not realize that this was the turn in which attacks could be made. So, as they funnily posted in the game channel, the best strategy is declaring a war and then letting your opponent attack you first. So again, just a misunderstanding, miscommunication there. So Tirnanog attacks should be happening next turn. We've got a little bit of a leg up. I guess maybe it's not really. I don't know. We're gonna see how things go. Let's go ahead and get through this. We've got a lot going on this turn. This is gonna be some hectic turns. We're gonna have to see how things go. All right. Alteration 6 has been researched. On our way up to Alteration 7. Cool. Gnome lore found nothing. Corpseman constructions. We did some arcane probing and found a crystal garden. That's very good. It puts us up to 5 astral pearls per turn. Voice of Apsu found nothing. More Corpseman construction. The Voice of Apsu that found nothing. More reanimation. An augury that found nothing. Again. We've got a Bind Archdevil and Magoth has responded. Dark Knowledge found nothing. Bind Archdevil and Igarak has responded. Harspex finds a Grove of Evergreens, which is annoyingly right on our border with Tirnanog, but this is a +1 nature site. And then another Harspex found nothing. We did some more Naiad Warriors, another Arcane Probing, and got nothing. Auspex also picked up Zilch. We did some blood hunting in Pulmania, Sanafe, and Orman. Remember, our Willow Wood, or Tiny Willow group is moving to a new location, so no blood hunting from them this turn. They blood hunting next turn. But still not a bad haul, all things considering. What we're sitting at 90-ish or so that's not bad. Island. And then we have a bunch of attacks, so let's watch our attacks. We attack in Lithia with our first Archdevil Ethenim, who is in a full set of gear except for weapon because he comes with a firebrand, and he is up against nothing. Up against nothing. So he does Phoenix Power, whatever. He does Fire Shield, and then he goes plop. And he hits for 22 damage plus 5 fire. I don't know if that's like 22 damage from this and then 5 from the AoE. I don't know. I don't know if maybe it's 5 from the barbed tail. I'm not too sure. It doesn't matter. He kills the shit out of things. This poor guy. Got nowhere to go. His morale broken. He's like, oh god, and he dies. Cool. All right, so Ethenim, easy. We attack in Yellow Caves, and this is on his fort. So this is Jarl 28, trying to be a little sneaky, and of course, again, he's got nothing going on here. So we've got Mistform, Blessing, and Flight. Then we into the back. We didn't make it in the back. That's okay. We have 21 defense on this character. Does a decent job of killing. Good. Cool. Alright. We attack in Dovin. This is another... this is 2 Jarls, actually. Mistforms. Again, up against nothing. It looks like Tirnanog is playing the just 1 PD game. Blessings, Flight. We up. We down. We are killing clowns. I don't. We attack in Eric's. Another Vanyarl up against nothing. See if we have any issues. Pop. Nope. We'll pop. We'll pop. Now this is giving Tirnanog information. Okay, so we've got to be careful of that type of scenario. Tirnanog now knows that we have an Archdevil. If he did not before, he knows what the Archdevil is scripted to do. He knows what these Jarls are scripted to do, etc. And we attack in Glimmering Field, and he knows that we have Ice Devils as well. So we've got Liquid Body, again, up against nothing. So Liquid Body, Quicken Self, and then he starts casting Frozen Heart. Actually, I think I need to check their script. But he just nails each one down with Frozen Heart, and that was hilarious. Actually, we should check his fatigue and see how that was. With Liquid Body, Quicken Self, Frozen Heart, Frozen Heart, Frozen Heart. 25 fatigue. Not bad. Pretty good. Okay, so we win in Glimmering Fields. Cool. We have a couple of unexpected events. Lose some population in Gifa as the Barbarian Horde attacks. We gain some water gems in Brightgate from an enormous icicle. We gain some dominion in Dopharos because of a festival held in our god's honor. We gain some earth gems under a huge rock in High Peaks. And then we have a battle in Gifa where, if you remember, we moved Semegis last turn in the assumption that, you know, we were going to get attacked. So we moved there, and he's there to counter these barbarians. So Semegis over here normally has a staff, but he's got a Frostbrand right now. He goes Liquid Body, Quicken Self. He goes in and boom, entire square dead. Square dead. just destroying. Can't get hit. If he could get hit, he's got 31 protection, bunch of resistances, regeneration. Just shrekkin'. I love Ice Devils. Man, I love Ice Devils. Liquid Body, Quicken Self, and just Cold Scales are so good. They're so good. So, Semegis does some work. Now, the fortification in Glimmering Fields is unharmed, and the fortification in Yellow Caves is unharmed. That's okay. Actually, we want to change stuff up here in a second. So, uno momento. But yeah, so we've got patrolling, and this is what our map looks like this turn. We got a whole lot moving around. So let's take a look at some of the things, shall we? First, we need to come up here to Nikafor. He is set on spells. We want him to set on attack instead. Semegis is good. Oriax is good. Okay. We are actually moving off Glimmering Fields, so we want someone to go do some work there. Do I have anyone who has a kit that is just sitting around, is the question. It's there, no kit's there. Not a full kit, it doesn't look like. We are... I'm actually running out of... Because I'm doing Stars of Thraldom and stuff, I have not been producing Lightning Quill. Kind of out of... I guess we don't have to have that. I say that, but I actually really want more water bracelets because I want this. I want Dread Forest. Dread Forest is kind of together with Dopharos, kind of a protector scenario. But I want all of these Jade Sorceresses to be able to have a water bracelet so that they can Frozen Heart spam, because Frozen Heart is actually really potentially good for us at this time. So I do want that to keep going. We just might not have. Okay. Put this guy. Are we making a? Sorry, I'm not. I'm thinking. I'm trying to think through what I'm trying to accomplish here. So I'm in my head at the moment. What I'm trying to do is with Nikafor moving off into Amiradon, I kind of want to put something on to Glimmering Fields, just as kind of like a cheeky power grab. So I guess we'll just do this. There we go. We'll just send this guy in and see how it goes. Yeah. Okay, so got a whole lot to cover. Let's try to get down to it. We are making attacks into Amiradon with Nikafor. We're making attacks into Zox with Oriax. We are making attacks into the Sinks with Semejes. We are making an attack into Felden Forest with Bune. We are... We have to be careful as we move our ice devils, right? To remember that they are most powerful in the cold scales, but we also need to make sure that we're moving them in smart directions, right? So this attack with Semejes into the Sinks is probably what's intended to happen. Is this army in the Sinks is either going to Robberholm, which is what I suspect, or it's coming to Gifa, which is a possibility. So he could put a bunch of units onto Gifa and then a bunch of units onto Robberholm and try to siege them both down at the same time. If this army is coming to Gifa and it's just the corpse constructs and long deads, and like something else is over here, right? Like hidden units are over here, then Semejes will get bumped in Gifa, more than likely. And what's going to happen is, hopefully he is going to be strong enough to deal with Gifa. I could actually... we could Woven with Winter Gifa if we wanted to. We're not gonna do that. We're gonna see how it goes, right? What we're in the stage of is we're in the stage of trying to gain information while pressuring and denying him information. Okay, so what we've got going on here is the hope for a potential bump that if he's not prepared for, Semejes can wipe out a vast quantity of undead. Without much of an issue. But if he's got other stuff there, if he's slightly prepared, then this might go south for us. So that's what we're doing, a series of attacks over here. This is kind of our defense of Robberholm. We are going to be moving Jarl 43 onto Glimmering Fields, just to try to halt any movement or production there. Over in Robberholm, we're doing a few things. Mostly what we're doing is we're hunkering down and researching. We have a lot of units here. We have 275 units here. So we should be in a good position to hold Robberholm for a while. Even if he comes with a vast amount of units, he's going to have to come in with 300 plus units, which he probably has here, to really be competitive. Okay? So let's talk about that. We are, in response to that possibility, we are spending gems on things like Enliven Gargoyles. So Enliven Gargoyles is going to be a Earth 3 Air 1 spell. right, in the enchantment tree, enchantment 5, which gives us 5+ gargoyles. It's only going to give us 5 because we don't really have any bonuses or anything like that. But it summons 5 gargoyles that are mindless, that don't heal naturally, etc. But they are pretty tanky. They've got 20 protection. They've got a double claw attack that hits acceptably hard. It's not really super crazy or that, but it's okay. Not crazy high health, not crazy good stats. What they are flyers, right? And that is something that we don't actually have a whole lot of at the moment. So what we could do with this is, and here's the other thing is Earth Gems is something that we have a fair amount of, right? So I'm trying to figure out where to use my gems and how to use my gems for the proper scenario. We can sacrifice some Earth Gems to get a little bit more combat power, and if we have, 10, 15, 20 gargoyles that go up and then land on his backline in the first 2 or 3 turns of combat, that could absolutely screw up whatever his plans are. Then we're also doing Naiad Warriors. We know what those are. They are okay-ish infantry that benefits greatly from the fact that they have awe, but also, keep in mind, they have 15 protection from their decent gear, and we are very close to mass protection. Okay, so that's a big deal. Mass protection is going to really boost the Kidnid's defensive capabilities, along with awe, making them significantly harder to kill. Okay? So that's important. And that's pretty much what's going on in Robber Home. So we're probably going to do some Enlivened Gargoyles for a turn or two, some Naiad Warriors for a couple turns, etc., and go from there. We might also, we're not doing it currently, but we might also start dumping some Death Gems into things. We want to see what he does, right? Does he pull the trigger? Does he send everything that he has into Robber Home? Is this him trying to get a quick rush going, etc., etc.? Over in Saramatia, right? This is kind of our forward base for Robber Home, or our resupply base for Robber Home. Recruitment-wise, by the way, we are recruiting in Robber Home. We're recruiting another Jarl and some more Herdmen, but we can't recruit very many Herdmen at a time here. We don't have very many recruitment points in Robber Home, unfortunately. In Saramatia, we're recruiting more Herdmen as a secondary force, because we don't really have much here except for Undead right now. We are continuing to do things like cast Auspex, although we're probably going to be done with that this turn. I don't think we're going to be... Well, I don't know. We'll see. I'm getting to the point where I need to pull units to do other things. We're forging more Stars of Thraldom. We are actually forging a Lightning Spear this turn. So what that is, for people who haven't seen it, because we haven't been making them. So a Lightning Spear is a shock resistance 5 weapon. It doesn't give very much in the way of damage, though it does do a little bit of a lightning bolt whenever it strikes the target. So that's okay. What this really is this is a weapon that allows us to get some more shock resistance on a character. And this is a weapon that we use for a character that doesn't need to have great amounts of killing power on their own. They need defensive statistics. So we need some shock resistance. That's why we're making a lightning speed. Okay. Doing more corpse construction. We're actually reviving a Mound King up here because we want someone to be able to lead this undead, probably up here to Glimmering Fields. So we're moving Nikifor off, but we're going to move Jarl 43 on, and then next turn, potentially we could head up to Glimmering Fields as well, with a stack of undead. And then some more Rings of the Warrior, and that's pretty much down in Ungballath, we are starting up our new blood hunting scenario. We've got some, we've added in a Star of Thraldom and a Ring of the Warrior, try to help protect this group. In Brightgate, we continue Haruspex, and we're sneaking Jarl 38 towards Helheim because we need more leaders, actually. We're also recruiting not in Helheim. In Brightgate, we're recruiting a Van Jarl because, again, we're recruiting in Helheim, we're recruiting Hengadrats, so we need Van Jarls to send to Helheim for our purposes. In Zimria, we are continuing to cast Arcane Probing, and Chant 1 will probably be doing that for the rest of eternity. And Svart 6 and Jade Sork 10 are heading up to Sarmatia. They are our Sarmatian or our Sarmatian diversity team. Over in Defaros, we now have a stack of ghouls there to help defend it. No, not really much going on. In Dead Forest, we are doing a number of things. We're casting, or we're forging an Amulet of Resilience. So you might start seeing some of these things and being like, oh, okay. We are making, since we only have 78 Blood Slaves this turn, we can't summon an Archdevil, okay? Which means we'll have to summon one next turn, which means in 2 turns from this turn, we will have our next Archdevil, which is the same time that we will have Alteration 7, which means we'll have Phoenix Pyre, right? So I'm immediately starting to put together that gear set that I was talking about that's more designed for a Phoenix Pyre Archdevil caster, right? That's heavily focused on reinvigoration and trying to accomplish that scenario, okay? So we're getting an Amulet of Resilience for that. We are still doing some more horror specs. We're still doing Augury every turn. Hopefully gonna get something out of that. We'll see. We are making a Scutata Volturnus. Scutata Volturnus is probably going to go with the Archdevil Reinvigoration build. It's not exactly great for the reason why we want to utilize it is it doesn't add anything except for shock resistance, right? So this would, in combination with our other thing, it would put us up at shock 10, which is decent enough resistance, right? But it also gives Shocking Grasp, which helps together with Fire Shield to kill things, right? This build is not going to be an especially killy build, so we want to try to do what we can to supplement the damage there. Plus, Scutata Volturnus is just a really good shield. It's going to help give us some defensive statistics. It does give encumbrance, which is something that we are trying to avoid as much as possible. But we're probably going to have to deal with some of that regardless. So, going for Scutata Volturnus, we'll see how it goes. I don't know if that's going to be a good choice or not. Voice of Apsu, more water bracelets because we want Jade Sorceresses to be able to do Frozen Heart. Thistle Mace because we need some more nature boosters. Fantastic. And then I'm gonna keep doing what's going on in the fortifications before I talk about the other wave of attacks. So in Kohnberg, we are making a Girdle of Might. That's going to be the other miscellaneous item aside from the Amulet of Resilience. We're going to have a Girdle of Might. And I think that's about it that's going on here. Moving over to Osens, we are sending Jarl 22. Again, we need more leaders in Helheim, so we're sending Jarl 22 over there. Nothing's happening in our blood hunting locations, although I have been adding in more. You might see we've got like 1 or 2 more in different locations for our Stars of Thraldom, etc. Every turn, I'm basically just trying to add more to our blood hunting groups so that they are better defended against raiders, basically. We'll see how it goes. And then we have in Helheim, we are casting a Gnome Lore, we're doing a Corpse Man construction, we are forging a Rainbow Armor with our god. This is a very odd path that normally would not have, but Rainbow Armor is air nature, and it's relatively low cost. The protection is not especially good on it. However, it does give magic resistance, which is important for preventing us from just getting zapped by soul slays or things like that. But also, it gives reinvigoration 3. Okay? So we're doing that. Doing some Dark Knowledge, doing some Arcane Probing. And really, I have no interest in Bifron's doing Arcane Probing. but Bifrons is actually holding here in the capital in order to retaliate against someone later, is the idea, right? So we don't want to commit all of our forces to attacking. We do need to have some forces ready and capable to counter raid. Bifrons is going to be one of those individuals. So, the overall plan for the gear that we're talking about is going to be a lightning spear, a Scutato Volturnus. Okay, both of those are just to give shock resistance because that's the major one that we have to watch out for, and it's the Scutato Volturnus helps us deal some damage to people, basically. Okay. The helmet that we're going to go with is actually just a dragon helmet. We're not going to make a new helmet for that. The armor is going to be rainbow armor, which gives 3 reinvigoration. The boots are going to be Boots of the Messenger, which gives 3 reinvigoration. The amulet's going to be Amulet of Resilience, which gives 5 reinvigoration, so we're sitting at 11 reinvigoration. And then the Girdle of Might gives 3 reinvigoration as well, so that is 14 reinvigoration. So that's actually a lot of reinvig, right? I don't know if it's going to work out in the long run, though. Tirnanog has the ability to really chase down a unit. And by focusing so much on reinvigoration gear, we're not able to really, things like, protect the unit as well as we could. But, I haven't played around with something like this before, so it's, I think it's something that's interesting and that I'd like to give a try. So we're going to see how it goes. All right. We need to talk about all of these attacks. What's going on? So first off, let's talk about what is currently in their territory. So Ethenim and Jarl 28 are very much within their territory. Jarl 17, Jarl 20, and Jarl 4 are in Tirnanog territory, but really it's more Henom territory. And they're further away from Tirnanog bases of power. My hope is that Tirnanog is not going to be super interested in attacking all the way up here. So I'm hoping that he's not going to like magic phase these people. And so in that concept, I'm being very greedy and I'm sending them into 3 new places with attack commands. Okay. If I was worried about him magic phasing me, I would stealth out and go from there. But I'm basically gambling. I'm hoping that he's not going to be interested in magic phasing these guys, right? That he's going to be trying to do other stuff. I do think he's probably going to magic phase Ethenim. If he does not, I'm going to send Ethenim down to Boral, and we'll see how that goes. A really big province, and it's plains. It's probably very valuable to him. We're going to go attack it. I have slightly in the assumption that he is going to. So when you get into this scenario, you need to try to anticipate. Okay, he saw me do X thing, right? So what can I do to switch it up and subvert his expectations and try to counter anything that he might do against me? So what might he do against me? He might send. He's not gonna like shoot. Well, he could. He could shoot me just like 12 times with fucking arrows, right? Seeking arrows, and just try to kill Ethenim outright. At which point, okay. Like, there's not really much I could do against that, except for having like shade mail and sneaking around. Okay, so that's an idea. That's an option. Something to keep in mind. We do have shade mails on hand if we need to go that route. But more than likely, he magic phases in on me. Like, he cloud trapezes some people in with a plan, right? He probably sees I have no poison resistance, for instance, right? Like, kill him with some swarm casting, He might see, oh, he's only got 15 shock resistance. Maybe some Thunderbolt spam will work. He might. I assume he probably wouldn't go for the Howl trick that he did last time, because we've got a Vine Shield and we've got a Firebrand and Fire Shield, right? But either way, he's probably going to, if he attacks me, he's probably going to try something, right? So we wanted to alter our plan. So basically all I did to alter our plan was swap from attacking rear to casting spells. Ethanim is still an incredibly powerful caster. He has a bunch of different options for hitting far and wide across the battlefield. Incinerate can just crush a whole bunch of people. In fact, I'm actually going to advance and cast spells. So that if he can just continue to push across the battlefield, if he can do things like Incinerate or Immolation or Falling Fires or Prison of Fire or what have you, right? He can do a bunch of different things. We're trying to subvert what Tirnanog expects me to do, okay? So, that's what we're doing with Ethanim. And with Jarl 28, I expect him to just try to kill Jarl 28 outright. So we're sneaking Jarl 28 away, right? I was considering just attacking 114, but this is going to be a protracted war. And I don't want to blow everything that I have immediately, so we're going to sneak into Raz and see how that goes, okay? We are sending Gop in, and we have set up, he has the same build that the other ones do, Liquid Body, Quicken Self, Attack. That's going to be it for now. So he's going to go into Star Peaks. And then we're actually kind of like pulling a fast one. I'm expecting him to do something in Yellow Caves. And in response to whatever it is he is going to do, I'm sending in Podosian. I'm sending in Podosian, and I'm sending in King 11 with a stack of undead. So this is potentially, well, I say it's potentially dangerous. The undead at this point, right? So this stack of undead is really just siege chaff, right? This stack of undead isn't gonna win me a battle necessarily. It's just going to help me break down walls. And honestly, not super fast. So that's all that is. Podosian is going to come in, and he is going to be the one doing the majority of the actual work, in theory, right? I'm actually going to move him all the way down over here. You can do Iron Skin, Timber Flesh, Iron Will, Summon Earth Power, Legions of Steel, and we'll see how that goes. Now, Podosian, I'm probably going to leave on this front. He's probably going to move in, attack Yellow Caves, move back to Kohnberg, counter raid, etc., etc. He does not have the great range that some other units have, so he's going to need to be, we're going to need to keep him close to a base where he can resupply, where he can try new techniques, etc., etc. And specifically, we've got options for things like Earthquake, right, for example. So we'll probably hit Yellow Caves and then pull back into Kohnberg, grab some Earth Gems, see if he responds, like maybe there's a big army that I don't know about that's hidden and he pops somewhere. Podosian responds with an Earthquake trap. Rinse, repeat, those types of things, okay? So that's what's going on there. And then we've got our two new Archdevils. We've got Magoth and Igorok. So Igorok is actually the one with the Infernal Scythe, and this guy is pretty cool. So the Infernal Scythe is very interesting. And actually, I think it's interesting enough that I don't think we need to use the Frostbrand. So the Infernal Scythe doesn't do AoE damage, but it does have Banish to the Inferno, right? So it's a magic resistance, it negates attack, and this would be interesting if he gets into a duel to the death with like a She-Lord or something like that. If he can score a hit, which is very unlikely, he might be able to send that She-Lord to the Inferno, which would be cool. And I'm not super worried. He's got multiple attacks, so he can kill things relatively quickly. He's gonna have fire shield up, so he should be able to do that type of stuff. So Igorok, both of them are still in... Oh, actually, no, I forgot. Igorok is in Phoenix Power Fire Shield. I need to put Fire Shield back on. I'll talk about what's going on there. So Igorok is doing the same thing as Ethenim is, Phoenix Power, Fire Shield, but he is unanticipated, perhaps, right? So I'm not going to have him cast spells. I'm going to have him just attack, okay? Do I want to... I keep coming back to this situation. Do I want to put Shademel Hauberkins on these guys in anticipation of doing Phoenix Fire? No, I don't think so. I think we're just going to go for power here for now. So Igorok is attacking all the... These guys have great mobility. This guy is attacking all the way over into Spring Spires. And then Magoth. Magoth is the one that is weaker in fire, but he has 3 astral. So this guy's very cool. He has a full set of gear, including the Frostbrand, because otherwise I think he just has a Magic Scepter attack, which is very trash. So he is going to be doing a little bit different. Since he has Astral, he's going to be doing Body, Ethereal, and Astral Shield, as well as what he's already got. So he's going to have a Vine Shield, Fire Shield, and an Astral Shield. So he's going to be relatively defensive. That's going to be somewhat annoying. So that's cool. And yeah, we're gonna attack into Gray Mountains with him. And that's pretty much it. So we are attacking all over the place. I'm anticipating being attacked all over the place. I've got a lot of units we need to pull together. That's why I'm bringing in these Jarls, is to pull together little counter raid parties, right? But we need to figure out, we can raid Tirnanog a whole bunch, and Tirnanog can raid us a whole bunch. But the key is going to be, how do we break fortifications, right? And I think at the end of the day, this is the scary kind of thing, right? I think at the end of the day, Tirnanog has better armies than I do. Whew. So we're gonna have to figure some things out. It is possible that after Alteration 7, we head up Evocation and go for something like Firestorm. I do not know if... I say that. He's got Eternal Pyre up, so he's definitely got a Firecaster. Probably his God, right? And Eternal Pyre is enchantment. So we know he has enchantment 8, right? Enchantment 8 means he has Frostfend, but not... Yeah, he means he has Firefend. So Firefend would mean that if he could get Firefend on his armies, that would mean that Firestorm honestly would not do very much. Always just go for Flames from the Sky. Just run up Evocation 9 and just be like, okay, we're burning everything. Run up Evocation 9. Our research is not good enough to run up anything. Alright. Regardless, I'm just hemming and hawing over things now. That's the turn. The next little while in the game should be pretty exciting. We're gonna get a lot of combats. We're gonna get a lot of deaths. And while all of this is happening, of course, there's still the sleeping line of Kaelum to worry about. So, fingers crossed. That's going to be it. I'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.